Hello everyone and again welcome to my class. Today we will read the second chapter of geography, that is inside our earth. Children, in our previous chapter we read that the earth is the only planet where life is possible due to the presence of air, water and sunlight. In this chapter we will read about the structure of the earth, different layers of the earth, rocks and minerals and the rock cycle. Let's come to our topic, that is about the earth. Do you know that the earth is almost 460 crore years old, and then it was nothing like today? It was a round ball of hot molten material. As the liquid slowly cooled down, it became solidified and it took the shape of a round layered ball. The Earth's depth is about 2900 km from the surface to the center, and the constant changes occur inside and outside the Earth. That's why it is also known as a dynamic planet. As we go deep inside the Earth, temperature increases, so it is very difficult to say particular about the interior of the Earth. The person who read about the structure of the earth, interior of the earth in detail is known as geologist. The average density of the earth is about 5.5 gram per cubic centimeter. Let's come to the structure of the earth. The earth is made up of several concentric layers, just like an onion. Concentric means the circles of different size with same center. As we cut a cross section of an onion, several layers are visible. Similarly, inside our earth, three major layers are there: the crust, the mantle and the core, which are further subdivided into two parts, that is upper part and lower part, or we can also call them outer part or inner part. So now we will read about them one by one in detail. First we will take the crust. Crust is the solid outermost layer of the earth and also called the lithosphere. It is the thinnest amongst all three layers. It is 35 km thick on the land mass, which is called continental crust, and 5 km thick on the oceanic floor, which is known as oceanic crust. Now, continental crust is consisting of minerals silica and alumina, and also called Cl, and oceanic crust is consisting of minerals silica and magnesium, and also called Sima. The outer crust provides us soil and minerals. The crust makes up less than 1% of the earth's mass. Let's come to the mantle. Just beneath there is the layer of the earth which is called mantle. It is the thickest layer. Its thickness is about 2900 km. It is made up of viscous material. Viscous means though the material is in liquid form but can't flow freely. Temperature here is very high and hot molten magma found here, and density ranges between 3.5 gram to 5.5 gram per cubic centimeter. It makes up 68% of the earth's mass. Now come to the core. Core is the innermost layer of the earth. It is also known as barysphere. It is made up of heavy metals like nickel and iron, and thus it is called the knife, and we can also call it Nephi. The temperature here is about 2200 degrees Celsius to 5000 degrees Celsius. This layer makes up 31% of the earth's mass, and it covers 83% of the total volume on the earth. It is further subdivided into two parts, that is outer core and the inner core. Now we will read about the rocks and minerals. I hope till this you all have understood very well. Let's come to rocks and minerals. Rocks and minerals are the naturally occurring substances found on the surface of the earth. They include not only the hard material like marble, granite, etc., but also soft and loose materials such as chalk, clay, etc. Minerals are naturally occurring substances present in rocks with definite chemical composition. And a rock which contains a large percentage of a particular mineral is known as ore. as ore of that mineral. Through mining, this mineral is taken out, and about them we will read in the 8th standard in detail. So let's come to the rocks. Rocks are formed in different ways, and they have different characteristics with regards to their color, texture, composition and size. On the basis of their mode of formation, three major types of rocks are there. First is igneous rocks, second type sedimentary rocks, and the third type is metamorphic rocks. Now we will read about them one by one in detail, how these rocks are formed and what kind of rocks are that and what are their features. Let's come to igneous rocks. This word derived from the Latin word ignis, which means fire. These rocks are formed when magma cools down and solidifies. These rocks were the first to be formed and are known as primary rocks. They are of two types. The first one is intrusive igneous rocks and second one is extrusive igneous rocks. So let's come to their type. First one is, this is the diagram how these rocks are formed. Magma chamber is there. It is the diagram of volcanic eruption. Magma chamber is there. When a volcano erupts, always magma comes out on the surface of the earth, and sometimes it is not possible to come out on the surface of the earth. When it comes out on the surface of the earth, it is known as lava. When lava cool down and form the rock, that kind of rock is known as extrusive igneous rock because it is found on the surface of the earth. And when magma cools down inside the surface of the earth, it is known as intrusive igneous rocks. And the best example of extrusive igneous rocks are basalt, and intrusive igneous rock is granite. Now this all about the extrusive igneous rocks and the intrusive igneous rocks. Let's come to their features. Igneous rocks are hard and compact. These rocks do not have remains of dead plants and animals. Water can't be percolate through them, because percolate means water can't seep through them because these rocks are compact. There are no pores between their particles. So valuable minerals like iron, gold, silver, etc. are found in them. Let's come to the sedimentary rocks. Sedimentary rocks are formed by the agents of weathering like air, water, ice, wind, animals, etc. These agents hit the igneous rocks and break them into fragments, and these fragments are known as sediments. These sediments are carried away by running water and wind and deposited in depression. Due to the heat and pressure, these sediments get compressed and hardened to form layers of rocks. These are sedimentary rocks. So these rocks are formed by mechanically. The example of that is sandstone. Chemically, example of that is salt, and organically example of that is coal. About 75% of total land area is covered by sedimentary rocks. These rocks are found in layered form, and these rocks are softer than igneous rocks. Fossils, that means remains of dead plants and animals, are found between the layers of these rocks. Let's come to the metamorphic rocks. These rocks are formed when heat and pressure work on igneous and sedimentary rocks through a process called metamorphism, which means change in form. Metamorphism means change in form. It takes thousands of years or hundreds of years to process. Example, limestone changes into marble, shell changes into slate. Gems means precious stones can be found in them. These rocks after changes remains in their original position and do not have empty spaces in them. They are very hard and have a light specific gravity. So I think till this you all have understood very well about the different types of rocks, how they are formed, and what are their examples and their features. Let's come to the uses of rocks and minerals. Children, you know, rocks and minerals are very useful for us. They provide construction material for building roads, houses, etc. They provide fossil fuel like petroleum and coal as power sources. They provide minerals, important minerals to us. Soil is also formed from the rock, and salt is a type of mineral which we use in our day to day life. And uh, chemicals found in some sedimentary rocks which are used in fertilizers. So these all about rocks and minerals. Let's come to the rock cycle. Rock cycle means the change of one type of rock to another type in a cyclic manner is called rock cycle. Cyclic manner means in a circle process. So this process has neither a beginning nor an end. As we have already read that when hot molten magma cools down, it solidifies and igneous rocks are formed. When weathering agents like rain, wind, ice hit them, they break, and broken down particles are called sediments. They are carried away through process of erosion by and wind and water. They started deposited in basin through the process of compaction and cementation. They converted into sedimentary rocks. Cementation means that is the process in which through weight and pressure size of the pore spaces between the sediments grains is reduced. So the leftover igneous rocks and sedimentary rocks are subjected to intense heat and pressure, and metamorphic rocks are formed. Sedimentary and metamorphic rocks are buried again and melt due to intense heat, and magma is formed. Again, through the process of volcanic eruption, igneous rocks are formed. This process is known as rock cycle. Now I will explain you through this diagram. This diagram is of rock cycle. Arrows connecting to three rock types show the process that change one rock into another rock. You can easily see the magma over here. Through the volcanic eruption, magma comes on the surface of the earth, or it may be inside the surface of the earth, and extrusive and intrusive igneous rocks are formed. Through the process of cooling, these rocks are formed. Now, through the weathering agents, these rocks are converted into sediments, and these sediments are carried away through the process of erosion, and by the process of compaction and cementation, they are converted into sedimentary rocks. Again, heat and pressure work on them, and they are converted into metamorphic rocks. Again, weathering agents, erosional agents come on the both types of rocks, that is metamorphic and igneous rocks, and sedimentary rocks are formed, and heat and pressure works on all three types, and they convert it into one another, and after all into the magma. So this is the process of rock cycle. I think you all have understood it very well. Now come to the question answer. My first question is, name the main types of rocks with one example of each. There are three types of rocks: igneous rocks, example granite or basalt; sedimentary rocks, example limestone; and metamorphic rocks, example marble. How are extrusive and intrusive igneous rocks are formed? I think now you can write down in your own way, because 2 times I have explained you in this chapter about them. Intrusive means inside the earth in, and extrusive means outside the earth through the volcanic eruption by the cooling down of magma and lava. These rocks are formed. Intrusive rock, example is granite, and extrusive, example is basalt. How are metamorphic rocks formed? Metamorphic rocks are formed due to intense heat and pressure on the sedimentary rocks. And the best example of metamorphic rock is limestone converted into marble. How are rocks and minerals useful to us? I think this answer you can also tell. They give us building material for construction material for building houses, roads, etc. In ancient time, people made tools and weapons by rocks, and in our day-to-day life, we use so many minerals. Soil is made up of rocks. Many examples are there. You can write down in your own way. Now let's discuss with the long answers. What do you know about the structure of the earth? The structure of the earth, in which you will write down about the different layers of the earth. The earth is made up of 3 concentric layers. That is, first one is crust, the mantle, and the core. And you can elaborate them in your own way. The crust is the outermost layer which makes up less part. Mantle is the just beneath the crust, and the core is the innermost layer. What are their features? You can write down in your own way. Second question, what are the main features of the mantle and the core? The main features of the mantle and the core are that the mantle is made up of viscous material, and it is the thickest layer amongst all 3 layers. And about the core, that is, it is the innermost layer, and inner core is solid and outer core is liquid, and this layer is made up of heavy metals like nickel and iron, and it is also known as barysphere and Nephi. And you can elaborate in your own way. What are the main characteristics of sedimentary rocks? Main characteristics of sedimentary rocks are that they are found in layered form. Horizontal layers are there over one by one. Apart from that, fossils, that means remains of dead plants and animals, are found between them. Now explain the working of the rock cycle. Again, the conversion of one rock into another rock in a cyclic manner is known as rock cycle. From magma, igneous rocks are formed, and then sedimentary rocks, then metamorphic rocks, then again by these 3 magma is formed. So you can write down in your own way and elaborate this answer, and you will also draw the diagram through proper arrows and all that. Now we will discuss about the hot questions. Why can't we go to the center of the earth? Very simple, because temperature there is very high. It is almost 5000 degrees Celsius, which we can't bear. Second, why can't we get direct information about the interior of the earth? Both questions are correlated, because temperature there is very high, so we can't access over there. That's why we don't get the direct information about the interior of the earth. This is all about the question answers and the chapter. I think you all have understood it very well, and this video will definitely help you to understand the chapter better. Thank you.